Did you know that in China, the average person saves almost 10 times more than the average American? That's right. While the savings rate in the United States hovers around 3.5 to 5%, the Chinese savings rate is a jaw-dropping 45.9%. So what's their secret? Today, I'm going to share with you the Chinese secret to saving money and how you can use it to transform your financial habits. Stick around until the end because the last tip I'm sharing is the one most people overlook but makes all the difference. Hi everyone, my name is Your Name, and saving money is practically in my DNA. I've learned a lot of these tips from my dad, who is your typical good-with-money Chinese person. And yes, I'm 100% Chinese, though people sometimes ask if I'm mixed. My mom's from Beijing and my dad's from Shanghai. Growing up, I was surrounded by these habits that were second nature to them, and today I'm going to break them down for you. I've also spent a lot of time in China, 2 6-month stretches in Hong Kong and Beijing, plus many trips in between. So, I've seen firsthand how these money-saving habits play out in everyday life. Ready? Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the why. Why are the Chinese so much better at saving money than most of us in the West? There are 3 main reasons: cultural values, demographics, and economic systems. In Chinese culture, saving money is seen as honorable. From a young age, kids are taught the importance of saving. Have you ever seen those red envelopes given out during Chinese New Year or birthdays? Inside, there's usually cash, called lucky money. But instead of blowing it on toys or treats, parents often encourage their kids to save it. In fact, during Chinese New Year, instead of saying Happy New Year, people often say Gong Xi Fa Cai, which translates to Hope you get rich. Money isn't just a tool in Chinese culture, it's a sign of discipline, success, and even good luck. Now let's talk about demographics. For decades, China had a one-child policy, meaning families only had one child to provide for. With fewer kids, parents were able to save more money. But it also created a cultural dynamic where young men were under immense pressure to appear financially successful to attract a partner. So, saving became not just a practical habit, but a social necessity. This gender imbalance, at its worst, 122 males for every 100 females, meant men had to stand out. And in China, standing out often means proving you're financially stable. Finally, the lack of a strong social safety net in China forces people to save. There's no equivalent to a 401k or social security system like we have in the United States. While there is a pension system, many people don't trust it will be there when they retire, so they save for everything: retirement, healthcare, and their children's education. Understanding these whys helps us see how deeply ingrained saving is in Chinese culture. But now, let's get to the part you're here for: the secret techniques the Chinese use to save money. The main secret: every dollar is accounted for. My dad, for example, always knew exactly where his money was going. And the budgeting method he used has a name here in the West. It's called zero-based budgeting. Here's how it works. At the start of each month, you assign every single dollar of your income a job. That could mean paying for rent, groceries, savings, investments, or even debt payments. By the end of the month, your income minus your expenses should equal 0. For example, if you make $4,000 a month, your budget might look like this: $1,200 for rent, $500 for groceries, $200 for savings, $100 for an emergency fund, $500 for student loans, and so on. This system forces you to be intentional with every dollar, which is exactly how the Chinese approach their finances. Now that you know the secret, let's break down 4 key habits the Chinese use to save money. These are simple, but powerful. The first habit is avoiding luxury goods. Most Chinese people prioritize humility over flashy status symbols. Instead of buying designer brands, they focus on practicality and durability. The goal isn't to show off, it's to stay financially secure. This one's a biggie. My dad, for example, grew up in Shanghai with very little money. When he started earning, his philosophy was to live off just 10% of his income and save the rest. Now, realistically, he didn't always hit that ratio. But the mindset stuck. Even today, many Chinese people try to live off as little as possible to save for the future. My dad used to eat these buns called mantou when money was tight. They're cheap, plain, and get the job done. For him, saving wasn't just about building wealth, it was about never going hungry again. Another key habit is focusing on needs. If something's essential like healthcare or a good ergonomic chair, the Chinese won't hesitate to spend on it. But when it comes to wants, they're incredibly selective. For example, if they buy something expensive, they make sure it's something they'll use for years to come. This one's universal but worth repeating. Eating out is expensive no matter where you live. In my family, we'd only eat out on special occasions. Instead, we'd cook at home and invite friends or family over. It's cheaper and often more meaningful. Now, I promised you a tip most people overlook, and here it is: consistency. The Chinese don't just save in big chunks when they have extra cash. They save a little bit from every paycheck, every month, every year. Over time, those small amounts add up to something incredible. The takeaway here is simple. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start small. Use zero-based budgeting. Cut back on luxuries. Focus on your needs. And most importantly, stay consistent. I hope these tips inspire you to rethink how you approach saving money. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments. And as we say during Chinese New Year, Gong Xi Fa Cai, hope you get rich. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my free newsletter for more tips on saving and building wealth. See you in the next video.